Part 1. The build-up to battle. As the tension grew, rumors spread throughout the land. People whispered about the size of the Norman army and the strength of their weapons. Some feared that they would be unstoppable on the battlefield, while others remained confident in the bravery and skill of the English soldiers. Meanwhile, King Harold raced to assemble his army, calling upon his most trusted warriors to join him on the battlefield. But as he rode to meet the Norman invaders, he received devastating news. His own brother, Tostig, had joined forces with the Normans, further swelling their ranks and increasing their power. With the odds stacked against them, Harold and his army marched on, determined to defend their land and their people from the invading forces. But as they drew closer to the battlefield, a sense of foreboding settled over them. Would they be able to withstand the might of the Norman army, or would they fall to their conquerors? Only time would tell, as the two armies prepared to clash in what would become one of the most decisive battles in English history. Part 2. The battle itself. As the dust settled on the battlefield, Duke William had secured his claim to the English throne. But the cost of victory had been high, with many of his soldiers killed or wounded. The Battle of Hastings would go down in history as one of the most significant battles ever fought on English soil, forever changing the course of English history. Yet, questions still remained. What if King Harold had won? What if the Normans had been defeated? The outcome of the battle could have been very different, and the fate of England would have been altered forever. The impact of the Battle of Hastings would be felt for generations to come, as the Normans went on to shape the course of English culture, language, and law. But even as the Normans celebrated their victory, rumors began to circulate about an unknown figure who had fought valiantly on the English side. Was it possible that King Harold had survived the battle? And if so, what would happen next? The future of England remained uncertain, and the shadow of the Battle of Hastings would continue to loom large over the land for years to come. Part 3. The aftermath. As William the Conqueror set about solidifying his rule over England, the aftermath of the Battle of Hastings was felt throughout the land. The defeated Saxons were forced to swear loyalty to their new Norman king, and many of their lands and titles were confiscated. The Normans built castles and fortifications to secure their hold on the country, and the English language began to absorb many French words and phrases. But resistance to the Norman conquest persisted in some parts of the country. In the years following the battle, rebellions and uprisings erupted, with the English people fighting to regain their independence. These conflicts shaped the landscape of England for centuries, as the Normans sought to maintain their grip on power and the English people struggled to assert their own identity and freedom. In the end, the legacy of the Battle of Hastings and the Norman conquest would be felt far beyond England's borders. The Normans brought with them new ideas and technologies, and their influence spread throughout Europe and beyond. But for the English people, the conquest marked a turning point in their history, a moment when their destiny was forever altered by the events of that fateful day in 1066.